Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we are shipping out today on Tuesday. So it was like a decent amount of stuff, nothing too crazy, but there's kind of some cool things. All right, so the first thing right here is 7 Years War Prussian Command, like little miniature kit by this hats company. I actually got a bunch of this stuff recently. Got like a whole box for like $10, so I have to go list that sometime soon. People do like these little miniature kits. This ended up selling, you can see like all the pieces you put together. This one sold for $9 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. All right, next up is going to be an interesting thing. This is 45 tiles for Memoir 44, like the base game for the board game. So this base game, or this particular board game, is a really cool one. I've played it a little bit. This is the last board game I played with my dad. We played like 3 or 4 scenarios. It was which one? I know my dad's still alive, but I'm just saying it's like the last board. Oh, that's not what I meant. Like, it was like the last, like, we haven't played like a board game since, you know? So yeah, he wants to play a board game. We'll see. All right. He watches sometimes too. So no, I didn't. Okay. So this game is a strategy game where you have a map and you have a bunch of hexes, and you each have, there's 3 zones. There's a left, center, and right. And then you get your troops based off of like a little scenario booklet. So they're trying to recreate different battles. And then there's dice when you're like, there's a bunch of dice. So when you're attacking, you roll some dice, and that's how many troops get removed. There's different objectives. It's actually a pretty simple, a lot of fun for the game. And the cool thing about the game is you have cards in your hand, like they're command cards or action cards. You play a card and it tells you which side and how many troops you get to activate. So it's not one of those games where like one person gets to just like move and attack and volley the other person, and another person gets to go back and forth. You have to really strategize, and it's really simple just because it's like play a card, you move your people, you roll your dice, and you just try to follow the scenario objective. And there's like an arcing campaign that you're trying to play with the other person. A lot of fun. So these are tiles for this particular game, base game tiles, that they're like villages, hedgerows, hills for cover and stuff. But the reason why people get a lot of these is the Memoir 44 has, I forget what it's called, but you can actually connect to like 3, 4, or 6 maps, and you can play like a 4 versus 4, 3 versus 3. So like people always like these extra tiles. They end up selling for $17.99. All right, next up is going to be this booklet right here, 1745 Charles Edward Stuart and the Jacobites. I don't know anything about this particular one, but we've been selling a lot of the military stuff, and we get it a lot too since we've been doing eBay. So yeah, it's like a nice little trade paperback book. This ended up selling for $8.43. So nothing too fancy. All right, next up is going to be, this one's kind of like interesting for us. We do sell art from time to time. We do know how to find it, but like it's a lot of space. I don't think I'm the best at listing it. This one's really cool. So we have this framed, it's like a little cabin. Actually, I think I just realized maybe what this was. It almost looks like Little House on the Rock. It's actually a Little House on the Rock. It looks like with it hanging over on the ledge. All right, that's just a place in Illinois. But yeah, so this is just a frame. Which one?
We have mountains?
No, we don't have mountains. So yeah, it's stupid. I'm sorry. All right, so yeah, this is just like a framed art printed. It does look like it's like an oil painting or something. I don't want to touch it too much. Yeah, cabin. There's some like goats or sheep down there. And of course, I don't know. I thought it was a Little House on the Rock just because of how I'm looking at it this angle. All right, this sold for $22.50. So yeah, it's pretty cool to sell a nice piece of framed art. Oh, it looks like Europe. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. It just looked differently for me at first. But it's cool. Like, we don't sell art that much. Like, I'm not an expert, as you can tell. I just like it. All right. We got that from an auction house, the one that was moving. And then we just got to make a pile of stuff. Next up are these 2. They're Mighty Maps. So these are for HeroClix, but it's not the WizKids brand. I actually remember these. These are from 2011, it says down there. So this is Doom Village West, and then there's East. I'll see if I can, like, fold out some of it. Sometimes these are hard to like refold back. So yeah, you'll have a bunch of like different terrain. You'll have a bunch of different buildings. I end up liking the non-HeroClix maps more than some of the HeroClix ones, because I felt like the colors and like the different colors of like around the edges of the squares popped more. So it was more obvious from when looking down from a bird's eye view, like who was in terrain, who was in cover, what was blocking, what was water. This ended up selling for $19.99. So that's pretty cool. It just like, it brought back memories when I played HeroClix. I played from, it was like, I think it was 2011 to 2013. It was a couple of years where I would go to a comic store and play with a bunch of people that were really good at the game. So I ended up getting a little bit better because I was a newbie. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 3. These are like horror, vampire themed paperback books. So we got Guilty Pleasures, Circus of the Damned, and Vampiric, spelled really like hipstery, the VAMPYRRHIC. This ended up selling for $8.99. I don't know anything about those books, but I like to make lots like that. All right, next up is going to be more HeroClix stuff. So I don't know why all these like military and then like the little hex tactical games are doing well. So these are going to be a lot of 31. These are little like terrain pieces. So there's going to be water, light terrain. So like if you destroy a wall or an obstacle on the map, you actually put like light terrain on there. Then there's also some dice. I like the HeroClix starter dice. They come with these like little cute little starter dice. HeroClix players like to do round edges specifically. I think it's like 16 millimeters, so they're slightly bigger, and they like the 6 instead of the 6. They like to have a symbol of like an X-Men faction or like a Spider-Man faction or something. So like it's a very hyper specific type of dice that they like. So it's funny that the starter deck comes with like little dice that they don't really use, but they're cute. All right, and then there's these light objects and heavy objects. They are things where characters with super strength can pick them up, and then they can also throw them, and then when they do their melee attack, they can smash them over the person, do extra damage. And also the objects are hindering terrain if you're standing on it, if you don't have super strength. So it's really cool that someone grabbed 31 of these. This ended up selling for $14.99. I don't know if that's how the light and heavy objects work now, because the rules changed throughout the updates of the game. That was just what they did when I played the game. All right, next up, we got a repeat buyer. This person, I think, bought our Mech Warrior rulebook yesterday, and then I relisted another one, and then they grabbed this one. The just only difference is there's a couple of like white scuffs in the front, so I had to like add new pictures when I was at the storage unit. But yeah, this is just the WizKids game where you have the little mech, tanks, mechs, infantry, and you're fighting other people. You get like a certain amount of points. It's very similar to HeroClix. I think it's the same person. It's by repeat buyer. I'm just going off of like a good guess that this is the same person. I didn't technically check, but the fact that I just like relisted it and this particular rulebook sold right away, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. $11.24. All right, next up is going to be this RPG book. It's called Scion, Hero of Shadows Yet to Come. Don't know anything about this one, but it looks like some kind of like cyberpunk type of like Cthulhu-ish, maybe like a little bit of action because you got the guns there, mystery, murder. $9.45. That's pretty cool. We haven't gotten RPG books in a long time, but when I got a bunch a long time ago before we started recording, they've been selling ever since. And the last thing for the day, I also know a bit about this. So this is Ultra Pro's pack of 40 oversized protector sleeves. So these are hard to find. They're really niche because when stores get them, they only get a couple amount because they're very specific. They are usually for the Magic the Gathering Commander, the oversized cards, and not everyone sleeves them because you don't shuffle them into your deck. And then you can also use them, I believe, for the Magic the Gathering, the Plane Chase cards, which do get shuffled. So yeah, usually these are hard to find, and then there's not that many brands that do this. And then sometimes like Ultra Pro will have different, they printed them in different years, and then the qualities can be slightly different, and people care about that immensely because if they have some stuff like a deck of Plane Chase cards sleeved and then they rip a couple, they want to go and sleeve it with the same type because they can tell like the black is different, the black color is different, so they want to like get the exact same kind. So I ended up selling this bag of sleeves for $22.49. So if you're a card game player, yeah, you understand that that's actually a lot for like a pack of sleeves. All right, some interesting stuff. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to help support us. Take a look and buy something from our shop down below.